Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rhyme of the Times for the weekend in 19th of October 2024. Such a shame as the strain of fame claims the life of Liam Payne. Haigh and Rayner are restrained by Starmer as he aims for the investment gains. Bombing of Gaza and Lebanon is sustained and Sinwar is slain, but Netanyahu remains defiant and promises more of the same until he achieves his aims. Kamala's momentum isn't quite regained as her popularity wanes, but it's plain that she also didn't crash the train. Tuchel in charge of England's national game, with the aim of bringing it home again and ending 60 years of pain. It's now well over 2 years ago when controversy enveloped P&O, when they gave 800 workers the big heave-ho. Peter Hebblethwaite, the ferry company's CEO, brought in cheap labour without letting the unions know. Politicians of all stripes letting their feelings show. But P&O weathered the storm, and hey-ho, soon everybody moved on and went with the flow. Fast forward 2.5 years to the present. On Monday, a summit to get foreign investment. Keir Starmer gave his version of being excited as international players to London were invited. One was the holding company of P&O, and for some politicians this was a no-no. In particular, 2 members of the cabinet made it clear they just weren't having it. Starmer gave an official Labour disclaimer regarding the opinions of Haigh and Rayner. The Transport Secretary and Deputy PM said P&O are rogue and we should boycott them. So all weekend it was touch and go. To and fro, would DP World's boss in the end come or go? Sir Keir couldn't really afford a no-show. The loss of £1 billion would be a huge blow. That was the size of DP World's financial pledge, a pledge that was now tottering on the edge. But back from the brink, Keir had the deal brought after letting Ange and Louise know what he thought. The row had blown up on this government's 100th day, 100 days of choppy waters, many would say. They've certainly received more brickbats than bouquets, more oh no's and oh dears than well done's or okays. After flack from all quarters, the government's aim ought to be for Sir Keir Starmer to steer to calmer water. On Tuesday came a health announcement for the obese and a way for the pressure on the NHS to be eased. The government hoping a weight loss jab can do the trick in coaxing overweight people off the sick. Jabs for jobs is perhaps not the most subtle catchphrase to get folk to swap the sofa for the workplace. And in the end, the causes of obesity are many-fold and cannot be solved easily. Maybe less talk of abstinence from the pulpit, more looking at who are the real fat culprits, like processed food producers and advertisers with their sugary and fatty snacks and appetizers. Another week of Israel's relentless pursuit of foes lurking everywhere from Gaza to Beirut. Hamas and Hezbollah fighters watching their backs. Yahya Sinwar killed by one of their attacks. Born in a refugee camp in 1962, hatred of Israel was all he ever knew. In July he rose to become the new Hamas head. On Wednesday found in the Rafah rubble, shot dead. But still Netanyahu won't change his position until Israel has succeeded in its mission, and as far as the Israeli PM is concerned, the completion of their mission is only confirmed when Hamas and Hezbollah have all crashed and burned, and all of Israel's hostages have been returned. After 8 years of Southgate nurturing a culture, Thomas Tuchel swooped in on Wednesday, the culture vulture. Lee Carsley, the under-21s coach, had been in charge but couldn't cope with the post-match media barrage. After a win and a loss against footballing minnows in the Nations League in the international window, the FA had said thanks, but no thanks, Lee. We need someone with a more impressive CV. They decided Germany's Thomas offered most promise, thus stirring many a British doubting Thomas. He starts January the 1st with one clear remit: to qualify for the World Cup and then win it. The St George's project put on short-term hold for an 18-month shot at footballing gold. 8 million viewers watched Kamala on the box as for 26 minutes she spoke to Brett Baer of Fox. This was all for Harris, not for Fox's sake, to see what difference she was able to make to her poll ratings, which, though not yet falling, have lost early momentum and are definitely stalling. Her novelty value of not being old, white and male in the last few weeks has gone a bit stale. A train crash, said Trump about her Fox chats. Other observers were more charitable than that. With an assertive tone, she held her own, but her policies still need some meat on the bone. In an Argentinian hotel late Wednesday afternoon, much alcohol and drugs had been consumed. The chaos in the room and in Liam Payne's head are portent for the tragedy that lay ahead. Fans, family and friends of the 31-year-old left stunned by the news the whole world was being told. He'd fallen to his death from the 3rd floor. Liam's life, a scenario seen many times before. From his teens he'd known only fame and acclaim after X Factor had helped him to make his name. He was put into the boy band One Direction, faced the slings and arrows with no protection, no time for introspection or self-reflection, no time or capacity for attention deflection. Too vulnerable and gentle for the showbiz game, Liam lapsed into addiction again and again. Another young life claimed by fortune and fame.